Very good morning to everyone. Today we're going to start a new chapter in history, that is chapter number 13, Life of the People in Maharashtra. Now, what was the condition of people living in Maharashtra at the time of Shivaji Maharaj? Whether the condition had changed or it was the same, and what all social conditions were there in the society. So, we are going to see that everything in this chapter, right from the food till the clothing style, their lifestyle, their living, the types of houses, people living in surrounding, celebrations, get togethers, festivals, each and everything we are going to see in this chapter. So, first of all, let's see which all points we're going to see first. We are going to majorly cover 3 points in this part of the video. First of all, what was the social conditions, the customs and traditions that were being followed in the medieval period, and the standard of living of people in the society at that time. That is, in the villages as well as in the cities. So let's begin with the explanation. Beginning with the introduction. We all know in these many chapters we have studied about the establishment of Swaraj and how the dream of Shahaji Raje was continued by Shivaji Maharaj, and along with him many great Sardars, that is Maratha Sardars as well as Maratha warriors, had contributed for this self-independency. The only purpose, or we can say the only motto of this self-independency was to protect the people and make them understand that yes, we can live independently. No one should rule us. We are by our. That means we should rule with ourselves, not by the others. So, founded with the noble intention of the welfare of common people and majorly to remove the harassment that was being done by the enemies that came to India, to Maharashtra, and troubled people. So, what was the main purpose? Protection of Maharashtra Dharma. In this period, that is at the period of Shivaji Maharaj, that is in the medieval time, Maratha power spread to mostly all the parts of India. It continued for near about 150 years, and we can see that what was the contribution of Marathas at that period is been still continued. Still, we celebrate the Shivaji Jayanti in remembrance of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. It gives us the remembrance of their sacrifices. Not only the sacrifices of Shivaji Maharaj, but also other Maratha Sardars who had contributed for this freedom. So, we had gathered many information related to this, related to administration, related to self-independency, and how the enemies attacked and were protected by the Marathas. We have seen each and everything in each and every chapter of this year. That is right from first till 12th chapter. So, in this chapter, we are going to see social conditions of people during that period and their lifestyle as well. So, let's begin with the explanation. Beginning with the social conditions in village. What was the condition of people living in village? Agriculture, and along with that, the occupations based on agriculture were being the major source of production at that time in the village. The Patil was the head of the village who was looking after each and every work of the village. Along with him, Kulkarni was there who was looking after the revenue, that is the collection of taxes. So that whatever taxes were being collected, it were being used for the improvement of the villages. Now the Patil received land as inam. That means that was a reward to him to look after the work of village. Along with him, he also received a part of the revenue that was collected by the Kulkarni. That means a particular part, maybe a one-fourth part of revenue was given to Patil. So along with the land, he was getting a part of revenue. Now there were Balutedars. So these Balutedars were paid in the kind of certain things. such as sometimes they were given certain objects, pots, anything it would be, and sometimes they were provided with the food grains. So that time salaries were not being paid. At in this particular period, what was there? They used to give either land or objects or food grains in the form of wages. So for the work that they were doing for the village. As we know, the major source of occupation was agriculture. So the village occupations were divided into Kali and Pandhari. Now, what was their work and why they were divided into two groups? So, the work of Kali was the workers, that is, the peasants who used to work in the fields. So, that is why they were called as Kali, that is, they were working either on the land, earth, and soil related to farming. And other than that, Pandhari were there who were looking after the work in the village. That means in village premises many other works were there, so that were being looked by Pandhari. Now here two occupations we have seen. So this work was being done with the mutual understanding among the villagers. That means there was no conflict and a kind of understanding, a bond was there among the people who were living in village. And because of this, what was there? Joint family system was prevalent in that period. Nowadays, we can see nuclear families, but that time, joint family was given more emphasis, and that is why family businesses were being continued for generation to generation. Do you know there were 12 balutedars, such as blacksmith, carpenter, potter, goldsmith, and many more were there who were looking after the villagers. That means they were providing help with these sources. They were producing such things that were help, that was a kind of help to the villagers. So, what was the work of the balutedar? To provide these facilities to the villagers. Moving on with the next point is customs and traditions. So, what was the customs that were being followed in the medieval time or medieval period? At that time, child marriages were given more emphasis on, and it was acceptable to have many wives, that is polygamy. A person can have many wives, so that was not a kind of restriction to a man. Even there are few examples of widow remarriages in this period. So, to perform the last rites, that means when a person dies, so the last rites were asked to burn the body, or sometimes they can bury, and sometimes there was a technique of immersion. That means maybe they must do some puja or some things, and they must immerse the body in the water or certain things with the rites in the water. So these were being used as per the traditions. Even muhurta was given importance, or certain auspicious occasions were there. At that time also it was being given importance. That means this muhurta, we know nowadays also we can see that for following certain traditions and customs, or certain special occasions or wedding ceremonies are there that time, or certain any other occasion, birthdays or that is there, we require muhurta, a timing is given, and in that particular timing the puja should be conducted. So even that thing was being followed even for the battles as well, not only for certain rituals but for battles. Opening of the battles means battles should be there in that particular period. That was the thinking of people, that if you follow this timing, then definitely you're going to win the battle. So, traditions and customs were given utmost importance in that period. People believed in dreams and omens. Omens means good and bad deeds we can consider as. So people used to think if they're going to do bad or anything unwanted thing, it is going to come back again to them. So people believed in good deeds, good thoughts, and accordingly, anushtans, that means havans, pujas were being conducted to avoid the wrath of God and planets. That means at that time, people used to believe that if they do unwanted thing, then God is definitely going to get angry, and some unwanted things are going to happen on the earth. So to avoid this, they used to do pujas, they used to do havans, so that God should be happy. If you might have seen in movies as well, you'll come to know many times they are showing that people are doing pujas and havans so that rain should fall. This was the belief at that time. But it's not like that. When the evaporation process is going to take place properly, then only the water is going to get collected. And we know the scientific reason behind the rainfall, correct? So, but that time people were superstitious and they used to follow these things. Even along with these pujas and anushtans, they used to do charitable work also, so that they could get blessings from people to whom they are helping. And they believed in astrology. There was also a general lack of scientific attitude. That means, if people would understand the scientific concept behind any of the things, they would be what they would understand it in a better way. But that was not so. Awareness about education was not there, so people used to follow whatever were being told to them. And along with this, there was offering to God in the kind of nervous. So they used to pray to the God that if God is going to happy and if God is going to fulfill their wish, they will in return give anything. And in this we have heard also, people have so much superstitious that at certain time they feel whatever they are telling to God, they should give it to them, otherwise God would get angry and do anything else on the earth. So certain times they used to kill animals as well. So at that time, medical treatment also was not given that much importance, but this superstitious beliefs was given importance. See, my dear children, superstitious belief was there at that time. Why? Because there was a lack of education. And at present, there is education, but still people believe. We don't have any right to have criticism on anything, but it is their belief. They are much capable to understand what is right and what is wrong for them. See, my dear children, God had never told to sacrifice anything. Only the thing is that God had told to keep belief in Him. And if you keep a proper trust and faith in God, definitely your wishes are going to fulfill. God has never asked a sacrifice of any of the things to fulfill your requirements. Only the thing is of belief in God. Automatically, all your wishes will come true and all your dreams are going to get fulfilled. But that time it was not prevalent. Their thinking was something different. Now, moving on to the next point is standard of living. When we consider this point, we should understand that means how people used to live at that particular period of time. What was their eating habits, their dressing style, and many more things. Now, majority of people lived in villages and they were completely satisfied with the place where they were living as everything was self-sufficient. They were happy. Only the thing that was need to be imported was salt. Many farmers had involved themselves in the work of agriculture. Peasants also involved them in the field work so that they could give more emphasis for the growing of different crops. So at that time, the farmer used to grow jawar, bajra, rice, wheat, maize, ragi, and other grains in their own field. So this had helped them to increase their yield of production and their livelihood could be earned easily. What was the staple diet of the people living in that time? So, people included in their diet bhakri, onion, chutney, and many more other things. At that time, barter system was given importance in their day-to-day transaction. Barter system we have studied earlier also. Just to remind you, barter system is exchanging of things rather than giving money. Objects were being exchanged or food grains were being exchanged. So, the houses in the villages were made up of simple mud and bricks. The vadas were there and they were beautifully architect. Either it was a one story or two stories as seen in the cities. If you try to search the information about Vadas in Google, you will come to know that how different Vadas were there at the time of medieval India. That means at the time of Marathas. How beautifully architectural work was done in the Vadas also. A simple bricks were being used, mud was being used, but proper facilities were available in Vadas. And you can surf on internet and you will get ample Vadas that how they were made and what was the importance of each and every Vada. In the previous slide, we have seen a staple diet of people, but that was a staple diet of a common people. That means the middle class people. Other than that, people belonging to high class or rich class, their diet was something different. They used to have rice, dal, chapatis, vegetables, salads, milk, and dahi products. Sometimes sweets in their diet as well. At that time, people used to wear, especially man used to wear dhoti, kurta, and a angarakha that is kept on a shoulder, a small piece of cloth, and a mundesa. It can be called as a turban. And women used to wear a 9 yard sari with the blouse. That means the length of sari was 9 yards. So we have seen the food style, the housing style, and the dressing style. Along with this, we have seen the transaction system that was being followed in the medieval India, medieval time. So we come to know by this that how different things were been there in the past, and slowly and gradually the things have changed a bit in present and may change something different in future. My dear children, in this part of the video, we have covered three major points, that is social conditions, customs and traditions that were being followed, and the standard of living of people belonging to common, that is middle class, as well as to the rich or the superior class. Now, in the next part of the video, we are going to cover some more points related to this chapter only. So, let's wait for the next video. Till then, keep reading the chapter so it will be easier for you to understand the explanation part. Thank you for watching the video. Take care. Bye bye. In the next video, we'll continue with the same chapter.